Yeah, here it is. What is it? It's only Thursday today because well, that happens every week. Thursday is because, but I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I'm going over to Halifax for the day, and so I figure I'll do up movie tonight and get it out for you. Anyhow, what happened to this week was well, the putting things back together. Like here's emergency brake thing, handbrake things on. I got that put back together. Gas pedal, when did I do that? This week or last week? Well, anyhow, there's a gas pedal in it. And then the underneath I did fixed up on the transmission in there where those it needed a plug on top of the transmission, did that. Then I went to Princess Auto had a sale on, so they had these on for sale, $89 for a tire changer. And I got all the old tires off. Only one wheel was this wheel here was rusty, and I cleaned it all off and painted it with brown paint. And now the rest of the wheels look really good, like they look like brand new. And even one of the tires was likely an original tire to the car because it said made in Germany on it. So I imagine it was in the spare tire rack forever. So anyway, the what else? Then oh yeah, the where am I? Got to go way around here again. Round and round I go in circles. I got the seat stuff. I'm slowly putting things back into it. So these things here are for the seats, and I cleaned them up, painted them up, and they go on top here, and they make the swivel seats happen. Then I've looked online, and even in Charlottetown, there's a 2012 Jetta, I think, at the Wreckers, and it's got a set of seats in there that I think I can make fit on here. I'll check it out. I'll see if I can get the dimensions and figure it out, because I'm pretty sure I could build a rack for them anyhow, and that would be pretty comfortable. Maybe like $100 each or something for seats, and they'd be nice modern-ish seats. So anyhow, that's all I've got for this week, and I'll stick around. You'll see all I did. I did some work on the paint, and decided that I think I've decided that I'm going to wait till I get all the doors done and everything, put them on, then I'll address the finish, because in some places it's really, really good. Like up here, it's really, really good, but then it got oversprayed here without a proper wet coat on it. So what I'll do is I'll tape off the good stuff and give it another coat of clear coat on where it's not as good. Anyhow, that's all for now. See you next week, I hope. Yeah, it's very red in here. Anyhow, it's all painted up. Start a new week. Now I need to do this panel here needs some like rubbing or whatever you call that. It's got some overspray on it, so it needs to get rubbed out. And this panel here needs some rubbing on it up in here. The front hood sort of thing here needs the whole front end here needs to be rubbed out. But the rest of it, like this part here, came out. Too bad it didn't all come out like that, but a lot of it did. So it's not that much on the rubbing business. What do you call that? Oh well, there's a name. There's a proper name. Like this side here came out really quite nice. Everything is nice, a nice clear coat on it, and not many. There's a couple little dust bits, but not bad at all. So what am I going to do? I'm going to just start taking the paper off and see how things are underneath the paper. See if any paint got through it. Look at that, there's the steering wheel. Lots and lots and lots of paper everywhere. Anyhow, you get the idea, right? Oh, sorry, went the wrong way. Get the idea. I'll see if I can get this stuff peeled off here. I'll just show you what's going on. Wait a second. going to be a garbage can full of painty paper, right? Where am I? Right down there. Yeah, see, there we go. So now, you got to be kind of careful that you don't want to take the paint with the paper, right? Just take the paper and not the paint. What I did was I laid in a line of tape along there to put the, and then put the second line of tape with the, you know, the paper on it. That makes it so it's easier to get the paper onto the thing and easier to get the tape off the thing. But there's lots and lots of tape. That came out nice. Anyway, there you go. You sort of get the idea. I'll get it all untaped and then I'll show you what's going on. There we go. All the paper's off it. I've got to paint some black in here and stuff like that. Should have likely done that before I painted the outside, but oh well, what do you know, eh? Same in here. Well, I'll get it done eventually. It'll all get done eventually. So it looks pretty good. You can see now that I've got it up on the lift. See, you can see right here that it needs to be buffed. That's the right word, buffing. It needs to be buffed out here. Needs to be some buffing right in there. That it just didn't get. I've got lots of clear on it, but it not a very even coat right there. I don't know if I could tape off the car and put a clear on that. Who knows? We'll think about that down the future. This side here actually all turned out pretty good. Like here is really nice, but here it needs a little bit of buffing, and I think I touched it here with my coat or something, so that'll buff out. Everything will buff out, right? We'll just see. And then it needs some buffing up in here. I'll just take I'll take this panel here and run the buffer on it, or I'll take the front panel and run the buffer on it and just see how it turns out, and then we can then I'll decide what to do about it. Because for right now, I'm not going to do, until I get the doors and everything on, it's not much point in buffing it out yet, because that'd just be a waste of time. Now, one thing I did discover also is that the rattle can red isn't quite the same color as the red that I've got here, so I'll have to do in the entrance of the motor back there is slightly different color around underneath when you open up the underneath. I'll show it to you next time I have it down. So what I'm doing now though is I'm going to get the have a nice red floor in here now, right? Boy oh boy, so paint goes everywhere. But I'm going to get the wheels over here and get them cleaned up, and then next week I'll see if I can get some tires on it, and I'll be able to roll it out of here under its own power, I think. We'll see. Okay. Whoops. Take two. So I cleaned up all the guns so they're all ready to go again. Takes quite a bit of wiping and cleaning. I got this thing here, which is good for getting into it. And I've got this thing here, which is, wait, I'll show you. That's the thing for cleaning up the welding tool, the welding wand. When you want to clean the tip of the welding wand, you use this, but it's also good for cleaning out paint guns. Anyway, there you go. So now I'm going to bring over my tire wheels and see what I can do about cleaning them up. Yeah, there were different colors here. They might have been silver at one time, they might have been black at one time. I think black was what came out of the factory. I'm not sure. So I'll clean them up. I think they'll be black. I think black would look all right with that. I don't want everything red. A little bit of color contrast. Then a white roof. That would look all right, eh? Well, we'll see. And they'll even get hubcaps sometimes. Yeah, so there's all the wheels, 5 of them. And I've started taking the wire wheel to that one there, but dust was blowing everywhere, so I'm going to take it outside and do it, wire wheel it out in the outdoors. It's just about warm enough for that. Yeah, so there, that's what they start like. I got 2 more to do, and that's what they're finished like. Now, I'll paint them up. I think they're going to be black. That's the inside of them. But, well, still deciding on the color. But I think black is okay. We'll see. They actually clean up all right, and they'll look decent. And I'll get new tires next week, I hope. I'll go into my tire guy and see if he's got tires. If not, they're available on the internet. Yeah, there we go. The wheels are painted up. Now I'm going to put another coat on them after about 20 minutes, and then that'll be good. I painted the front and the back. I can show you. See? Yeah, there's the back side. I'll only do 1 coat on the back side, 2 coats on the front side. Okay. Yeah, here I am. It's tomorrow already, right? And I've got the van up again. And I've got 1 coat of black paint on the wheels. They look pretty good. I'll see if I can get a set of tires. That one, I'm going to put another coat of paint on them all. And then see if I can get a set of tires for them. Tomorrow's Monday, so I'll see what I can do about that. So the idea is that I want to drive this thing out of here so I can bring the doors in and work on them in here. So after I get the tires painted, I'll see if I can hook up the fuel linkage. It's up here somewhere, right where my finger's pointing there, if you can see it. Then there's a rod that goes from that thing right there up to the motor and hooks on at where the butterfly for the throttle is. And then at the other end, I have to install my fuel foot feed, and it's somewhere in one of these boxes. There it is. Look at that. Just showed up there. So I'll clean this up and get that installed, and then I'll have hopefully be able to press on the gas and something happens. So first thing though, paint the wheels. Oh, here I am. So I've got this right here. This is where the throttle comes into the throttle lever comes in to the back of the motor, right? And I've got that hooked together, and of course, and then there's a cable there's a metal thing that goes across the top of the transmission and hooks into the cable which is in there. Anyhow, it's quite the linkage. Then of course it comes to the front, which I spent, half an hour putting that rod. See that rod right there? Putting that rod through there. And of course, don't you know, that rod's backwards. It's got to turn around the other way. And it hooks onto the gas pedal. So, I like to do things a couple of times. Yeah, so I've got a screw put in there, holding the gas pedal, right? Now I'm going to check and see if what happens if it actually goes to full throttle here. That's the throttle linkage right there. That's not a very good spot for looking, right? Throttle linkage right there, so See what happens when I press on the throttle now. Now you guys will see it, but I won't. Starting now, full throttle, back, full, back, full, back. Come on in. Okay, so now I'm going to try it again, and this little piece right here, I want to see that, like, I don't know if you can see this, if I do this. Oh, that's going to move that. Hang on. Hang on till I get myself set up here. Where is it? Okay, this little piece right here, I want to see that push past here to there. Can I see that? Yeah. So there. You see what happens when I press on the gas pedal now. Here it goes. Yeah, so there, you guys saw that first. It comes all the way around. So gas pedal works. I've only got one bolt in it there, but I got 3 holes drilled already because I put it in the wrong spots. So I'll put in another couple of holes there, another hole, another bolt, and that gas pedal will be right where it lives. Anyhow, that's good. Okay, I'll show you. Will I show you? I'll show you. Right there. So I've got an extra hole underneath here and an extra hole underneath there that I'll get plugged up later. And I'll put another bolt, another little self-tapping screw in right here to hold that side. And that'll be gas pedal installed. Yeah, there now it's got a gas pedal installed, and it took a whole day to, well, 3 or 4 hours to get the gas pedal installed in it. And I won't tighten that adjusting screw yet because I had to sort of put a big washer on here, right? Can you see that? So I put a bigger washer on here and then a new clippy thing because the old clippy thing flew away somewhere. And now, so between painting the wheels and putting in the, whatever you call that, the throttle, that's the whole day done. Oh, there's some more tape I missed. Right? You're finding tape everywhere. So there's a slight difference in color between, here's the color from the rattle cans, and here's the color that I painted. So slight difference in color there. Oh well, that'll be. So you can't use the rattle can paint to paint all that stuff. Anyhow, but you can't use rattle can paint for touch-ups because it's a different color. So now, once I get tires on it and wheels on it, then I'll move it over to the other side, and I'll bring the doors in here and work on them, doors and roof, and then I can I can likely lift the roof up with the lift and just hang it up there, and then bring the car in to meet it, sort of thing, right? So that'll work. Anyway, that'll be coming. That's all for today. See ya. Yeah, here I am back at it, but it's sort of a non-production day today. I'm a little bit late getting out because I'm just lazy, I guess, eh? Anyhow, I'm going to blow this, see if I can blow the dust out of here, make it look a little bit more presentable. That'll be one thing, right? And the other thing I want to do today is I've got all these bolts and nuts and everything like this, like all these things that come in little packages like that. And they're quite handy to have, but right now they're in that box right there. So I want to build a shelf here. I think it might make it out of metal, because I've got metal I have lots of, and it's fairly compact to use. So see what I can do about making a shelf or 2 shelves in there, and I'll move this stuff that I've got hanging there over somewhere else. Anyway, there we go. That's what I'll be up to. Yeah, so there's all my screws and things in a safe place, and it's actually pretty solid. Like I wouldn't sit on them, eh? But just made them out of a piece of steel and bent the edges over so it gives them strength. And I've got enough steel here for another one if I want. So I might put another one up that same level as that. I'd get in the way of my ducks. Anyway, there's, now, what time is it? It's about 4:30, 4:15, right? And I am curious about how this is going to buff out. So I'm going to take the buffing, and I don't know if I'll have to, like, let me show you here. You see the spots that need buffing, right? One right here. This bit of the panel right in there and right down here needs buffing, but part of it doesn't. But that whole panel is kind of questionable. So I'm going to try buffing it just with the polishing compound and see if that takes the tops off. If it doesn't, then I'll do wet sand on it and see how that works out. In fact, I think actually I should just go ahead and do the wet sand on it right away, because that will solve it. We'll just see. I'm going to see if I can fix up this panel here. Whoops. There we go. That dulled that all out, but it took all the tops off the things, right? And you can see where it's, you know, where it's modeled there. So the top to the edges of it. I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but it's smoothed it all out, taken all the roughness out of it. So that's about 20 minutes of sanding from there to there. And I've got the polishing machine, so I'll see what happens with the polishing machine now. Yeah, now I've got about an hour into polishing it and all that kind of stuff here. It's still motley here and motley over here, but some of it's coming around. Like right in there it came out nice. So I'll do a little bit more sanding on it, and then I'll polish it up again and see how much it takes to get it down to where I like it. Now I just went at it with 1,000 grit paper, which might have been a little bit light for taking that stuff off. So maybe I'll try it with 800 grit. I think I have some 800 grit here. I'll try it with some 800 grit and take that, see if I can get the tops off that stuff, and then do the 1,000 grit to let it smooth it out, eh? So, and I think I have to go get some 1,200 grit and 1,500 grit. That'd likely do it all. Okay, I'm gonna give it another go. Yeah, that's some better, but it's not as good as I'd like it to be yet. It's nice and smooth here, just a matter of getting it polished up, I guess. The there's still some orange peel here, so maybe a little bit more sanding and more polishing. And then I'll know how much it takes to get it down, whether it's worthwhile to just sand it off and put another clear coat on. Up there, the clear coat's fine. Just down here, it needs some help. So I could likely tape off all that area up there and then clear coat this, and that'd stay clean. Wouldn't get overspray on it. Well, we'll see. We'll just see what I do. Anyway, well, that'll be enough for today. So I'll come back tomorrow and see what I'm up to tomorrow. Yeah, there you are. So back at it. Now this thing here came out really nice and smooth, but it didn't shine up like I wanted it to. So I think I have to hit it again with another clear coat, another layer of clear coat. I don't think I got enough clear coat on it when I was painting it originally, and it just so of course it's not going to shine up. So from here, where am I? From here up, really nice. From here down, this panel, not so nice. So I can tape it off and see about doing another clear coat on it. Same with up on front here. So right in here needs some clear coat, and along here, just on this side here, because down here, like I could tape it off right at that seam. This is nice down here. I like that. This side here, like you can just see a stripe of clear down here that I got it wet enough to make it right, eh? So anyhow, just a matter of making it right. And here, this side here is nice. This whole panel here is nice. A little bit at the back there needs some help, but all the stuff up above is good. The roof, well, I know that the roof is dull, so, but it doesn't really matter because it's going to be covered up with that white cover anyhow. So I'm not too worried about the roof as long as it's painted well and covered well. So mostly it's all right. Now, today I went, isn't it a good day when Princess Auto is on sale, right? So I went and I got one of these tire changer things. I'll set it up and like I want to get the tires off of those wheels there. And I've got tires coming from somewhere on the internet. They couldn't, the local dealer here couldn't find any, so I ordered them off the internet and see if they'll show up. But I'll see if I can put that and make it so it hooks onto the concrete floor. I'll show you as I do it. Anyhow. Yeah, so there's the tire changer thing, right? And I've seen the guy on YouTube, a YouTube guy, of course, has showed how to use it all. So what I'll do is I'll mount it here on the floor, then I'll be able to, like, I'll build a system where I can screw it and unscrew it fairly easily, move it out of the way when I don't want to change tires, but I can also sort of leave it there and it won't interfere with a car going up and down. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there it is. Now it's pretty damn solid there now. So I just put 2 anchor bolts into the concrete, and those will come out easily. And then I'll build a little block to go on there so that it easy to see instead of tripping over it all the time. All you need is the you know, you got your, whatever you call this thing, the masonry bit, right? And these bolts here, sleeve anchors for concrete. I bought a bunch of them because you never know, might want to put something else in the concrete sometime, and there we go. So I'll see if I can take a tire off now. I'll set it up the camera and see. There, see what happens here. So anyhow, it's got this top here, this off of it. Then there's this bit here. But first you got to break the bead. Here's one with no air in it, and the bead has not been broken. See this? Oops. This has got to be up out of the way, right? That goes like that. That goes in there, right? And then you just take this. Been a while since this was broke. There, it is. Not as easy as what they make it look like on YouTube, eh? But it seems to come around. And that's right down. And then that doesn't have a thing that'll hold it up there. Maybe there is. Oh well. These ones here have been only on there for 30 years or so. that's off the bead. Then you put it on here. Used to do this when I was a kid. And I used to jam my fingers in there fairly regularly. That little thing comes up to keep from twisting back and forth, right? Then this goes down. I think it has to go this way. And then this thing here goes on. Then you tighten it, you put that in there and just tighten this around. So that it's on there plenty tight. And then that side there is in the groove, right? This side here you come up and twist it around this way and hurt yourself if you're not careful. I think I better get some soapy water. That's not tight enough anyhow there. I like to have that upside down. Try this again. Yeah, no, the only way to do it is this way. Make sure you got a good grip on it. So I've got to get some soapy water, I think. Oh no, it's coming. No, that wasn't so tough. Then the other side. Once you get that up there, it sort of goes. How do you like that? Right? Done. Dismounted. The wheel's not in bad shape inside there. Now while I have that on there tight, I gotta take off the, I'll be back in a second. That little tool there is for taking off the, what do you call it, the stem, right? And putting a new stem in. Guess I need some sort of a lift here. There we go. That's how easy that is. Off. So, there's the wheel off. Not bad. Not bad for first time around. Okay, so I guess I can do that. That's pretty simple. And then I ordered a balancing thing. I'll show you that whenever it gets here. Yeah, no, so what I'll likely do down the road, I won't do it right away, is I'll take that bolt and I'll weld the nut to the other side. And then this part here, the only part that'll stay in here permanently will be that bit here goes there to there, because these bits here come with the thing. And then I can remove it, and that'll keep it from, like, once those are tight, you shouldn't really loosen and tighten them because it'll break up the cement on you. So then that part there will just stay there permanently, and I'll have be able to just move this out of the way. So that's what I'll do when I finish with this round of tires. Like I decided to get it because I've got this round of tires that I wanted to do, and I've got to get some tires for my trailer out there, and they same thing, like it's easier just to get them and do it at home if you can. So it'll be worth it in the long run, and I enjoy doing stuff like this. So there you go. Yeah, there I've got 3 of them apart, and they all are nice and clean on the inside. Number 4 was pretty yucky on the inside. I took a little bit of a hand wire brush, but I'll have to get that I'll get that cleaned off and brightened up. That was very difficult to get that tire off. All that rust was holding it. It wouldn't push down wouldn't break the bead. Well, the bead was broken, I'm sure, because there was no air in it, but water had been intruded. Anyhow, I'll get that done. Hopefully that last tire there is the wheel okay. Yeah, there's number 5 off. So this was in the spare tire rack, and I'll bet you it's an original tire that came with the car way back in 1982, because it says made in Germany on it, and you know, it was on the spare tire rack, and so it likely just got worn out. Then they changed the good one, put on 3 new ones plus, and then that would have sat there forever. Hey, anyhow, but it looks like it's, whoops, come on off there. There you go, get off. That one's got a little bit of rust on it, but not bad at all. So I've got 4 good wheels and 1 new wheel that needs cleaning. So I'll clean up that 1 wheel there, and then we'll figure out where to go from there, figure out which ones to use on the car. But I've got 5 tires coming, so they'll be all brand new tires all the way around. Anyhow, there you go. That's that would be tires off, right? Okay. Yeah, there. That all worked out pretty well. Now I'm gonna let it down, and I'll just have one more go at making this polish. See if I can get it to polish. And if it doesn't, then I'm gonna go ahead and think about spraying it with another coat of clear, or a coat or 2 of clear. Like, all the upper stuff is good, just this lower panels I didn't get covered very well. Anyway, there we go. Yeah, there, I think I got it solved. I think I've got it looking pretty good there now. Like, you can see the reflection of stuff in there. Not as reflecty as that stuff up here, but I think it's pretty. I think that's about as nice as you're gonna. Well, it's so nice and smooth. Eh? That's a nice paint job there now. So I can go on the areas that are rough and just hit them with the sandpaper and then buff them up, and I'll be happy with it. I don't have to put another coat of clear on there. I don't think. I'll just go around the car, but I'm not going to do much more of it until such time as I get all the doors and everything done. Because once the doors are done, then I'll go around and buff up everything that needs buffing. So, looks pretty good. I'll be happy with that for now. In fact, that looks really good back there. So, there we go. Happy guy. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to clean off all that rust on there. And then that other wheel there needs a little bit of cleaning. Then I'll go ahead and make this thing so it's removable. So there we go. Be a minute or two and I'll get going. Oh, there we are. There we go. So I took and I welded those nuts on there, so they're captive nuts on this thing. Now I'll mount this back onto the floor here, and then this part here can come off and on as I want it. That part. Okay. There, that's all put together again. So it's easy now. I take out that bolt and that bolt. This whole thing comes off and then it's out of the way. I'll leave it in the way for a little while now. Now the next on my list is, don't you know, all the way from England. Where is those things? Where are those things? There it is. These little 23 and 24 millimeter plugs showed up. Now I'll see if they're anywhere near the right size. If they're not, I'll have to order some different ones. But they certainly aren't expensive, and they're easy to, they seem to have all sorts of sizes. Okay, I'll see what happens here. Yeah, now I'm underneath here, right? And this is the front of the transmission. And so to get the transmission to drop, there's this, the ground wire unhooks from here. And then over on this side here, this is where, not enough hands. This is where the linkage for the transmission goes in, the transmission shifter, and hooks on there. And it's hanging right there. Maybe I'll even clean that off this time around. Then up above here is, oh, and I pretty near forgot. You got to take the, that's, oh dear, where am I? Can you see that? Yeah, that's the linkage for the throttle, right? So it comes off of here, which is the thing for the transmission when you do kick down, right? And, or this, so the transmission knows where the throttle is, I guess. And then up here I got to take these two bolts out of there, and then that'll hang free, and then I can drop the transmission down. I'll put my transmission hoist on it and let it drop a bit. Okay, now how do I get rid of all this stuff in my hands? Oh, too many things in my hands, right? There we are. Anyway, I'll get those two bolts out and see if I can drop it down. Yeah, there now. I've let it down. I just pulled the bolt holding it right here, right? It goes through there. And I've got it on the jack stand, plus I've got this strap on it here for safety. And here's the plug I put in before. So I'm going to pull that plug out, and then I'll put in one of those, see if one of those other plugs will fit. Just, I'll let you know how I do it along here. Yeah, so this plug here seems to be about the right size. And there's the gasket goop. So I'm going to put some goop on that. And then this 14 millimeter socket sit right in there. Then I can get a thing to squeeze it down in, I hope. I'll show you if I get it done. Show you how it works out. Yeah, there you go. So, can you see that? Maybe. Right here, where's my finger? Right there. Yeah, so the, not much light, eh? So, anyhow, I took that's the little plug in there. And I took that, I was able to take the socket and the socket on top of it, and then I was able to tap it in with a hammer. So we hope that it's going to be good. If not, we'll find out, I'm pretty sure. I was thinking I'd put that other plug back in on top of it, but I don't think it'd go there and stay, so we'll just let that settle. I won't start the motor until that thing has a chance to settle. Okay, that's in. Now I'll just put everything back up in the spot. Okay, there you go. That's all back together, right? With a light shining right in your eye, right? There you go. How's that? No, no good. And then I can't get the light. There we are. So that's all back together. See, I double nutted that connection to the throttle because it's kind of a shitty connection there at the best of times, because the bolt is sliced along the edges to make it square so that it'll hold that throttle thing and send a signal to the transmission somehow or other. So anyway, but that's done. And remember I said I would think about cleaning this piece of metal off here. Well, I forgot, so I cleaned it off once I got it up there. And then I put a self-locking nut right on this one here that holds the back of the motor in, or the front of the motor in, and torqued them all down. Can't see. So I torqued this one to like 45, these ones here to like 35, and the other ones they have lock nuts on them, so they're good. Anyway, there's that thing put together again. I hope for the last time, but we'll see. You never know if that'll hold or not. We'll find out down the road somewhere. Okay? Yeah, another good thing when Princess Auto has a sale on. They had these moving blankets on sale. Good ones. So now the next thing I think is I'm going to see if I can get the handbrake, as they say over in England, or over here we call it an emergency brake. Anyhow, I'll get that out and see what it looks like, see if I can get it hooked up. Yeah, so there's the handle back in, and there were a couple of bolts right here. There were holes in there for, you know, if it was a right-hand drive car, then that would go over here, but it's not, so it doesn't. And then the so it's not adjusted, it's not hooked up out back underneath yet, so I'll go underneath there and see what I can do about getting it set up. Here you are. So this is the e-brake or handbrake adjustment thing. Goes like that, eh? So the bolt was seized on there, or the nut was seized on there pretty well. So I had to go, I got it to move a little bit, and then I ran this thing tap, right? Or yeah, tap? What's that? No, it's not a tap. It's whatever the other side of it is. Anyhow, I ran that up to the nut, and then I was able to get the nut off, and now I'm just you know, cleaning off the threads here so that it will be easy to adjust it. So I'll see what I can do about getting it hooked up. There, it took some pulling and heaving, but everything's in the right spot now. And I cleaned this metal off just a little bit on the wire wheel. This thing here is pretty grotty, but that's where it's going to be. How it's going to be? Now, I guess the thing is to pull on the emergency brake or the handbrake and see what happens. Right now, wheels turn. No problem. So I'll go up and pull on the handbrake. Yeah, well, here, give it a rank. Oh, there. Now, go down and see if it's actually got the wheel stopped. Huh, I think it worked. Yep, can't turn that. So that wheel's tight. Well, this one here is hooked down. They're both hooked together, so can't really tell if one stopped, the other one stopped too. But both are tight, so that's good. Now, a matter of just adjusting the brakes a little bit, and I'm happy with that. So there, I thought that would be tougher than it was, but well, it was not that easy. There, got e-brake, handbrake, all the brakes are working, everything works on the brakes. Isn't that something? Now I can, like I bet you I could take it and get it inspected now. It would pass inspection because oh no, you gotta have need lights, right? Need lights. I think you need doors too, so perhaps I'll get them done one of these days. Anyhow, I think that's it for today, so I'll let it down a little bit and then I'll release the handbrake. Yeah, it's 5:15. 5:15, you know, well past quitting time. Now, I've been hovering back and forth with the more clear coat, not more clear coat. And I'm back to more clear coat because this thing here, it actually looks pretty good. It's smoothed off pretty good, but down here is still dull. And so I think that I can go ahead, I can likely brighten that up. So I'll take some 600 or 800 grit paper and go over the whole thing. All the panels that are not to my satisfaction, I'll go over them, and then when I get the doors on, I'll tape them off, and I'll give it a, like when I get the doors off, it'll be easy to tape everything off and keep the, maybe I'll get the roof on too, and keep the overspray out of the car. I imagine I can put plastic over the top. Anyway, we'll figure it out, but tomorrow will be another day, so made some progress today. Transmission thing back together. We don't know whether it's right or not, and the brakes work. Oh, cool. Okay, see you tomorrow. Yeah, so here I am at Thursday today, and going away tomorrow for a day over to Halifax. So I'll get this out and I'll put a video out this evening instead of tomorrow. Now today, these things here. Now that's an oddball looking stuff. Just more heavy stuff. These are the swivel seats that go on here. So I've got to, I'll clean them up, I'll give them a paint, and then see about getting them installed. They may not get done today because they may just get painted today. But I'll put the van up out of the way and work underneath it. I've got the workmate here somewhere. Yep. Okay. So this thing here showed up today from the the Amazon, right? And it's a wheel balancing thing. These things compress, those springs compress there, and at the top there's a little tiny bubble right there. And so if that bubble's on, you're good. So I'll just check and see if any of these wheels are balanced. Wait a second. Yeah, there's wheel number 1 in there, and it's like, as far as I can tell, it's perfectly balanced. Kind of cool. I'll check all the wheels and see if they're balanced, and if they're balanced, I'm happy. And if one of them's out, then we'll see what happens when I put tires on it, right? Hang on, I'll just show you how I do it. Right about there somewhere, eh? It's very simple. There's wheel number 1. Here's wheel number 2. Just gently lay it on there, and the springs will take it down. And make sure it's centered on the gizmo here. It'll touch on the cone in all the spots. This one here, right on, balanced perfectly. Wheel number 3, balanced perfectly. I'd say those wheels are pretty well balanced. Wheel number 4. That one's right on. Hang on, I'll get wheel number 5. It's on the tire machine there. It's the one that's got rusty on it. Yeah, now here, I got wheel number 5 here. This one was rusty, and I cleaned it off, and then I sprayed it with, that's just brown paint. Same color as the dash. Okay, that's what I had. So now, see how it works out. Yeah, when you get it seated right, it's still right on. I haven't put a stem in that one yet, so I should do that. Well, that thing seems to work, so I'll have to put it somewhere safe where it won't get whacked and it won't get covered with dirt and dust. So I'll do that right now. Yeah, there's somewhere safe for it, and grocery bags, shopping bags are great things. I'll just cover it over, and I've tied it at the bottom with a piece of wire to keep the dust out. So that should be good. Now, onto these things here, which is a little bit of a task, but I guess I'll get them cleaned up and see where we can go from there. Yeah, so I'm slowly getting through all these things here. They've got each one of them has a pan, and and then they have this thing that the seat sits on, and this will swivel on the upper part there, or something swivels, I don't know. Yeah, that part is stationary. This part here swivels inside there, so it has to be greased up inside. But this one here is, I saved the dirtiest one for last. Don't know why. Didn't do it on purpose. So I'll just clean it out, and then it'll be set to go. Then I'll paint them up and I'll install them tomorrow. Yeah, there they are, all painted up and looking better, right? So that'll be okay. I'll let them dry, and I'll install them tomorrow. Hang on till I get rid of my mask here now. Yeah, here I am. Those things are all painted up and looking good. And don't you know, it's Friday, oh no, it's Thursday afternoon, but I'm going away tomorrow for a bit. So what happened this week? I got into the transmission back there and fixed that up a bit, I hope. And sort of putting together little bits. Emergency brakes in. What other thing did I do? I forget even. Oh yeah, the wheels. I got the wheels off, and I have a wheel thing going here for taking wheels off. So that worked. Only one wheel was in bad shape. It was rusted in the inside. Anyhow, but I'll see you, I guess, next week. I hope, anyhow. Bye for now. Then I did discover who sent that lovely shirt. Carolyn, oil fan Carolyn. So here you go. Wait a second. I'll see if I can get a look at this. There. Can you see that? I don't know. There it is. Anyhow. Yeah. Here we are. Wednesday, March 15th? Yeah, maybe. And here's your Buster report, right? It was a blustery night last night, and snow came down, not that much, like lots of drifting, big wind, and the wind is still here, so there's waves at the beach. Looks like it even knocked my bench over. I can maybe fix that up. I don't know where Buster went. We had Buster here a minute ago, but he's decided that he'd be somewhere else. Yeah, they pushed up all that crushed ice up along the shore. Anyway, that's there we are. There's Buster. How can you have a Buster report if there's no Buster, right? So, there you go for today. Blustery day, and it's going to be blustery all night.